January 5th and closes as a demand to close, dated January 6th. So I also emailed the agent along with the transaction coordinators today. So this is one thing I'm going to do today. This is part of the job that's not so fun. Not every transaction goes as planned for different reasons. And so when I take a listing and before we accept an offer from my clients, is I always vet the buyer. I contact the lender, the buyer's lender, talk about their qualifications, their credit score, have they verified income, assets, and tax record, tax returns. If they're self-employed, have they looked at their P&Ls? Is everything up to date? How does the whole file look? Has it been reviewed? Has it been underwritten? Where are we in the process? And so that's one thing I do for all my sellers. You got to protect your sellers. You got to protect their interest, and that's just the beginning of before they accept an offer. I want to make sure I do that for my clients. Therefore, you get into escrow, and the lender has been been a great communicator. You know, talking, following up, letting me know what the status is of the loan, et cetera, et cetera. And this individual buyer is self-employed, so they ran into a little bit more with COVID. All the lenders have extra layers of rules and or hoops a buyer has to jump through. So we did extend the escrow a few times for that reason. But even in that event, we extended the escrow. In this event, in this particular listing, in this particular transaction, the buyer's agent has completely gone MIA. I haven't been in contact, heard a response or anything since December 20. And as my duty to my clients, I want to make sure that I stay on top. So I've been in contact with the lender. I called the broker, talked to my broker, of course, and I talked to our legal team just to make sure to see what we should be doing, what's going on here, to protect my client's interests, because that's my number one priority. Also, too, we're holding up that property. If the buyer can't qualify, we want to make sure we get it back on the market ASAP. So before you go on to the next buyer, we have to follow the process for canceling an escrow. So I'm in a situation right now where I am going to issue a demand to close escrow because we were supposed to close 2 days ago. And we've extended the escrow about 3 times for this buyer in order to get their loan, to get the financing in place. Unfortunately, they haven't been able to do that. Now I'm not getting any response from the buyer side. So we're going to do a demand of escrow to close escrow. We're going to send an email to the broker, to the agent. We're going to drop off a copy to the office for the broker and the agent, send a copy to the escrow company, and I'm also going to text a copy of this document to the agent to see if I can get a response. So that's what we're doing today. Stay tuned. It's not always what you might see on camera, or I mean on phones, on video, that is just a wonderful, easy, smooth process. It's not always like that. It may start off like that, but things happen. And this is one of the things you do. What's most important is what do I do for my clients to close this transaction so we can move on and get them back on the market to the next buyer. Yeah, so I talked to my broker and I talked to my seller this morning and just, you know, discussed everything that I was going to do today. He was he's pretty happy with that. He understands that we have to go through a process. He understands that it's going to take a few more days to, you know, completely cancel the contract. But at this point, you know, he understands that we need to do this. And one thing also too that's really important is I'm not an attorney, so I can't give legal advice. All I can do is follow the contract, and I always disclose that to my clients as well, because that's a really important factor. I think with real estate agents, you have to be really careful. It's a fine line of following the contract and actually be careful not giving any legal advice. So we always say, you know, if you have an attorney, talk to an attorney if you get in that kind of situation. But I don't anticipate it going to that extreme, but I'm a full disclosure agent, and I want everybody to know exactly what could happen, what is happening, and what could happen, and what they should do. Oh, I'm supposed to turn left. Uh-oh. That's right. I can only turn right in. Oh, yeah. You turn. Going to my school. This is the route I used to take. Sac State.
is where I used to start my bike rides.
Mission accomplished.